Every morning before the world pulls you in countless directions, before doubt creeps in and distractions take over, you need to look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are and where you're headed. If you don't take ownership of your story, someone else will, and that is not an option. First, affirm this. I am in control of my life. No one else determines my future. Not a boss, not a critic, not past mistakes. My choices define my path. I refuse to be a passenger in my own journey. Next, I am stronger than my struggles. Life will throw challenges my way, but I rise above them. Every obstacle is a test, and I don't break, I grow. My struggles don't define me, my response to them does. Let's be clear, I deserve success and happiness. No more self-doubt, no more apologies for wanting more. I don't need permission to chase my dreams. I was born to thrive, not just survive. Comfort zones, not for me. I choose growth over ease. The easy road leads nowhere, so I embrace discomfort because that's where real progress happens. Growth is a choice, and I make it every single day. Gratitude is my power source. I am thankful for every moment, even the tough ones, because they teach and strengthen me. Gratitude shifts my focus from what's missing to what's possible. I don't wait for opportunities, I create them. Success isn't found, it's built. Fear exists, but it does not control me. I refuse to let fear hold me back. Fear is just a story I tell myself, and today, I rewrite that story. I act despite fear, not in its absence. And here's the truth. I am enough, and I'm always improving. Perfection is a myth. Progress is the goal. My only competition is the person I was yesterday. Most importantly, my potential is limitless. My dreams have no ceiling. My future has no boundaries. The only thing standing in my way is belief. And I choose to believe in myself every single day. Now it's time to own the day. Walk out that door with power, confidence, and an unshakable mindset. Today isn't just another day, it's another opportunity to move closer to the life I deserve. Let's be clear. I am in control of my life. Not my past, not my circumstances, not other people's opinions. Me. Every day, I make choices that shape my future. The question is, am I making those choices with intention, or am I just reacting to what life throws at me? Too many people move through life on autopilot. They wake up, hit snooze, scroll through their phones, and let the world dictate how they feel. But not me. I take control. They wake up, hit snooze, scroll through their phones, and let the world dictate their emotion. They blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where they are. But here's the truth. Excuses don't build success. Action does. I refuse to let life happen to me. I make things happen. Every decision I make shapes my reality. I don't wait for motivation, I create momentum. Progress isn't about giant leaps, it's about consistent steps forward. I know that discipline beats motivation, motivation fades, but habits build the future. That's why I commit to the work, even on days when I don't feel like it. I show up for myself every single day. Setbacks, they're part of the process. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone toward it. Every mistake teaches me something. Every challenge builds resilience. I don't see obstacles, I see opportunities to grow. Doubt will try to creep in, but I won't let it take over. I silence the voice that says I can't and replace it with I will. I trust my abilities, my strength, and my vision. I know my worth. I don't seek validation from others. My confidence comes from within. I refuse to shrink myself to fit expectations. I stand tall in who I am and where I'm going. I surround myself with people who elevate me. Energy is contagious, and I choose to be around those who inspire, challenge, and push me forward. I cut out negativity, distractions, and anything that doesn't serve my purpose. Success isn't about luck. It's about preparation. I stay ready. When opportunity comes, I won't hesitate. I will step up, take the shot, and make things happen. I remind myself daily, I am capable. I am powerful. I am unstoppable. No dream is too big. No goal is out of reach. The only limits are the ones I refuse to break. And now it's time to move. No more waiting, no more excuses. The life I want isn't in the future. It starts with what I do today. Let's go. People often blame their upbringing, the economy, or past failures for their current situation. But here's the truth. Nothing will change until you take ownership. The moment you realize that you, and only you, are responsible for your life, everything shifts. That doesn't mean life won't throw challenges your way. It absolutely will. It doesn't mean obstacles won't arise. They certainly will. But what it does mean is that you have the power to choose how you respond, And in that response lies your strength. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every high achiever and game changer didn't have an easy path. They didn't sit back and wait for someone to rescue them. They made a choice to show up, a choice to push through, a choice to take responsibility for where they were and where they wanted to go. If they could do it, so can you. Now, I understand some of you might be thinking, but you don't know my situation. I've been through struggles. I've faced setbacks. Listen, every single person has a story. Everyone has encountered pain, doubt, and fear. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is the decision to take control of their life instead of making excuses. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control what happens next. You decide how you show up. You control your mindset, your energy, your effort. And when you start focusing on what you can control instead of what you can't, you take back your power. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they never faced rejection, never had doubts, never failed? Of course they did. But they didn't let those setbacks define them. They made a choice to take responsibility for their own success. If you want more out of life, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only right now. And in this moment, you have a decision to make. Will you take control of your life, or will you keep surrendering it to excuses, fear, and circumstances? It's time to stop acting like life is happening to you and start realizing life is happening for you. Because the moment you shift from a victim mindset to an ownership mindset, everything changes. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, you stop seeking external validation. Instead, you start focusing on what actually matters: your actions, your growth, your future. Want a better job? Develop the skills that make you undeniable. Want better relationships? Become the kind of person who attracts the connections you desire. Want more success? Stop talking about it and start executing. Because the reality is, no one is going to do it for you, and that is the best news possible. Why? Because it means you don't have to wait. You don't need anyone's permission, and you don't have to sit around hoping things magically change. You are in control. You are in the driver's seat. Now it's time to take the wheel. You are in the driver's seat, and that means you determine the direction of your life. No more waiting, no more hesitation. The moment you decide to act is the moment everything begins to shift. It won't always be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you question yourself. But those moments don't define you. Your response does. When challenges arise, remind yourself why you started. Push forward, adjust, and keep moving. Look at those who have built something meaningful. They didn't do it by chance. They weren't handed success. They took action, stayed consistent, and refused to quit when things got tough. That same resilience is within you. So what's stopping you? Fear, doubt, uncertainty? None of these things have the power to hold you back unless you let them. The only way to fail is to give up. Every other obstacle is just a test. A chance to prove how badly you want it. Your future is shaped by the decisions you make today. Small steps compound over time. The effort you put in now will determine where you stand a year from now. Success isn't about massive leaps. It's about showing up day after day even when you don't feel like it. And here's the truth. Nobody is coming to push you forward. Nobody is responsible for your progress but you. That may sound intimidating, but it's actually empowering because it means you hold the keys to your own transformation. So take action. Set the goal. Do the work. Be relentless because the life you want isn't out of reach. It's waiting for you to step up and claim. The question is, will you? Maybe you've made a few wrong turns. Maybe you've stumbled along the way. That's part of life. But remember, you're still in control. So what will you do with that control? Keep going in circles, making excuses? Or will you step up, take responsibility, and move forward with power, confidence, and the certainty that your best days are still ahead? This is your life, no one else's. If you don't take ownership of it, someone else will. So starting today, you decide, you commit, you take control, and you never give that power away again. Life will test you. It will challenge you, push you to your limits, and make you question whether you have what it takes. But here's the truth. You are stronger than your struggles. You are not defined by your pain, your failures, or the obstacles ahead. You are something far greater. Struggles don't exist to break you. They exist to build you. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to rise, and to prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is how they respond to adversity. Most people see struggle as a stop sign, They hit a wall and convince themselves it's the end. They give up. But those who win, they see struggle as a stepping stone. They understand that every tough moment, every failure, and every setback is a lesson, preparing them for what's next. Think about the strongest, most resilient people you know. They didn't become that way because life was easy. They were shaped by adversity, tested by challenges, and instead of backing down, they fought, they pushed forward. And that's exactly what you have to do. Because the truth is, you have survived every single tough day you've ever faced. Think about that. Every time you thought you wouldn't make it, every moment you believed you were done, you weren't. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means you are far stronger than you realize. Yes, sometimes it feels like too much. Sometimes the weight of it all makes you want to quit. But in those moments, you have to remind yourself why you started. Dig deep, because on the other side of this struggle is the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Pain is temporary, struggle is temporary, but the strength, resilience, and confidence you gain from pushing through, that lasts forever. That becomes a part of who you are, and the next time life tests you, you won't break. You'll rise. So when the struggle comes, and it will, you don't back down, you don't let it define you, you don't let it stop you. Instead, you stand tall, face it head on, and remind yourself, I am stronger than this. I was built for this. And nothing, not pain, not failure, not fear, is going to stop me. Because every challenge you overcome adds to your strength. Every obstacle you face prepares you for what's ahead. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you're tested, stretched, and forced to rise above what once held you back. So when life pushes, push back harder. When doubt creeps in, shut it down with action. When fear tries to control you, face it with unwavering resolve. Because fear only has power if you let it. And the moment you refuse to let it dictate your path, you reclaim control. Success isn't about avoiding struggle, it's about using it. It's about turning pain into fuel, setbacks into lessons, and failures into stepping stones. The strongest individuals aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get back up every single time. And that's exactly what you're going to do. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more letting circumstances define you. From this point forward, you take charge. You decide how your story unfolds. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the willingness to fight for it. And when you do, when you refuse to quit, when you embrace the challenge, when you push through every obstacle, there's nothing that can stop you. Now it's your move. Becoming who I was meant to be, you deserve success. You deserve happiness. And I don't mean that in a simple feel-good way. I mean it as an undeniable truth. Yet too many people go through life doubting their worth. They hold themselves back, shrink their ambitions, and convince themselves they're not enough. They listen to the wrong voices. The ones that say they don't deserve more, that they should settle, that they should be grateful for what they have and stop wanting more. Let me make this clear. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. There is nothing wrong with looking at your life and thinking, I can do better, I deserve better, because you do. The only thing standing between you and the life you truly want is your belief in what you deserve. Success isn't about luck. It's not about having an easy path handed to you. People succeed because they make a decision, not just a wish or a hope, but a firm decision that they are worthy of success. They believe in themselves before anyone else does, and that belief shapes their actions, their mindset, their entire existence. That's how it works. Your beliefs create your reality. If you go through life believing you're not enough, your reality will reflect that. But if you choose right now to believe you are worthy, capable, and entitled to success and happiness, everything starts to shift. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back because of doubt? How many times have you talked yourself out of pursuing something because you convinced yourself you weren't ready, weren't good enough, or didn't deserve it yet? And yet, someone else, someone with less talent, less skill, and less drive, went for it and got it. Not because they were better, but because they believed they deserved it. Stop waiting for permission. No one is going to show up and say, you're good enough now, go for it. That moment isn't coming. The only person who can make that decision is you. And the second you do, the second you fully own it, you'll begin seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You'll start showing up differently. You'll start taking action in ways that make success inevitable. So enough with the doubts, enough with the excuses, Enough with letting old stories dictate what you believe you're allowed to have in this life. You deserve success. You deserve happiness. You deserve everything you're willing to work for. Now, the only thing left to do is claim it and chase it like your life depends on it, because it does. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you choose what's easy, what's familiar, what's safe, you rob yourself of the opportunity to become something more. True success, real transformation, doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself, when you stretch beyond what feels easy, when you step into the unknown and choose to rise. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in routines, following the same patterns, staying within their limits, never questioning if there's more. They let fear dictate their choices, convincing themselves that stepping beyond the familiar is too risky, too uncertain. But here's the truth. The greatest risk is standing still. The moment you stop growing, you start fading. Life isn't meant to be lived in hesitation, in waiting, in settling for less than what you're capable of achieving. Those who break free from mediocrity do so because they refuse to accept stagnation. Every time you stretch beyond what's comfortable, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more. You build resilience, sharpen your mindset, and develop the strength to face challenges head on. Success isn't reserved for a select few. It's claimed by those who push through resistance, who keep going even when the path isn't clear. So ask yourself, are you willing to challenge your own limits? Are you ready to step into the unknown, not with fear, but with confidence? Because the life you want isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to take action. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Rise up, take control, and become everything you were meant to be. Many people avoid discomfort by settling into routines, staying in jobs they dislike, remaining in draining relationships, and clinging to limiting beliefs. Why? Because it's comfortable. The worst part, they convince themselves that this is just how life is, that they should simply be grateful for what they have, and that wanting more is too risky. Change feels intimidating, but the truth is, the life you desire is just beyond your comfort zone. The only barrier? Your willingness to step into the unknown. Growth isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to challenge you. It will make you uncomfortable. That feeling of doubt, fear, and uncertainty isn't a reason to stop. It's proof that you're on the right path. Every time you push through discomfort, you become stronger, developing resilience, confidence, and valuable skills. But every time you choose comfort over growth, that strength weakens. Think about the most successful people you know. Do you think they got where they are by doing what was easy? No. They achieved success by doing what most people avoid. They took risks, had difficult conversations, and showed up even when they didn't feel like it. They embraced discomfort because they understood that's where growth happens. So ask yourself, where in your life have you been choosing comfort over progress? Where have you been holding back because stepping up feels intimidating? Maybe it's going after a job you know you're qualified for but keep talking yourself out of. Maybe it's launching that business, starting that project, or making that move you've been dreaming about, but fear keeps stopping you. Or maybe it's something as simple as speaking up, standing in your power, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Whatever it is, you have a choice. You can stay where it's safe within the limits of what you know, or you can step forward into the unknown, trusting that you'll figure it out. Because you will. You always have. Growth requires embracing discomfort, shifting your perspective on fear, and seeing it not as a stop sign, but as a signal that you're headed in the right direction. So step up, lean in, choose growth over comfort every single time, and watch how fast your life begins to transform. Gratitude is powerful. It's the fuel that drives momentum, the mindset that changes everything. Yet, most people go through life focusing on what they lack, what's missing, what's wrong. They wake up thinking about their struggles, their frustrations, and their problems, then wonder why they feel stuck, drained, and stagnant. Here's the truth. What you focus on expands. If you constantly look for what's wrong, you'll find more of it. But if you shift your focus to what's right, what you have, what's possible, everything begins to change. Gratitude isn't just a nice concept. It's not about writing a few things down in a journal and calling it a day. It's a way of life. A choice to stop living in scarcity and start embracing abundance. Because no matter where you are right now, no matter the challenges you're facing, you have more power than you think. You have more than you realize. The problem isn't a lack of resources, but a lack of perspective. When you train yourself to see opportunities instead of obstacles, to recognize progress instead of problems, everything starts to shift. Gratitude rewires your mind to focus on possibility. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, you begin to appreciate what's already present. And from that space of appreciation, you create more opportunities, more connections, more success. Because when you operate from abundance, you attract abundance. But here's the catch. Gratitude isn't passive. It's not just about feeling thankful. It's about acting from that place. It's about showing up with the mindset that you already have what it takes, that you're already equipped to move forward. When you do that, setbacks don't feel like failures, they become lessons. Challenges don't feel like roadblocks, they become stepping stones. The people who transform their lives don't wait for things to change before they feel grateful. They decide to be grateful now, in the midst of uncertainty, and that shift in perspective changes everything. Because when you stop focusing on what you lack, you start seeing what's possible. And when you see what's possible, you take action. So the real question is, what are you choosing to focus on? Are you stuck in a mindset of scarcity, or are you training yourself to see the opportunities right in front of you? Because the answer to that question will determine everything. Your choices, your results, your future. The life you want isn't out of reach. It's just waiting for you to see it. Find something to appreciate. Maybe it's your health, the people in your life, or simply the fact that you woke up today, given another chance to improve, to make progress. The truth is, someone out there would give anything for what you might take for granted. The moment you recognize this and begin valuing what you already have instead of constantly chasing the next thing, everything shifts. You feel lighter, more energized, more unstoppable. Gratitude isn't just a passive emotion. It's a source of strength. It provides perspective, reminding you why you started in the first place. Many believe they need to achieve success before they can be grateful, but that's a misconception. Gratitude doesn't follow success. Success follows gratitude. When you approach life with appreciation, obstacles stop feeling like barriers and start looking like opportunities. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, you begin to see the resources, connections, and chances already within your reach. Think about it. When was the last time you genuinely paused to acknowledge how far you've come? The challenges you've overcome, the things you once dreamed of that are now part of your reality. It's easy to get caught up in the constant pursuit of the next goal, the next level, the next win, but if you never stop to appreciate where you are, what's the point? So, decide now to shift your mindset. Instead of waking up focused on what's lacking, focus on what you have. Instead of dwelling on what isn't working, recognize what is. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about generating the energy, mindset, and momentum to create even more. When you live in gratitude, you don't just see life differently, you start living differently. And that changes everything. The people around you will either elevate you or hold you back. There's no in between. Every conversation, every relationship, every person in your space is influencing your mindset, energy, and future. Yet most people never stop to assess whether those around them are pushing them forward or keeping them stuck. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Do they challenge you, inspire you, encourage you to grow, or do they drain your energy, fill your mind with doubt, and make excuses for why things aren't working out? Whether you realize it or not, their mindset, habits, and energy are shaping your own. Success leaves clues. If you want to grow and level up, surround yourself with those who have already achieved what you aspire to. People who think bigger, push harder, and expect more. Because when you place yourself in the right environment, your standards naturally rise. You start seeing what's possible. You begin believing in yourself in ways you never have before. When you're surrounded by those who strive for more, you begin to mirror their ambition. Their disciplined mindset and work ethic become contagious. You start expecting more from yourself, pushing beyond limitations you once thought were fixed. This is why environment matters. The people you engage with daily influence not just your thoughts, but your actions. If you're around individuals who settle, who constantly find reasons why something can't be done, that energy seeps into your own mindset. But when you're in a circle of people who aim higher, who see solutions instead of problems, you start to operate on that same level. So take a hard look at your surroundings. Are they fueling your growth or keeping you stagnant? The harsh reality is that some relationships will need to change. It's not about cutting people off. It's about prioritizing your future. Align yourself with those who elevate your thinking, who challenge your perspective, who push you toward your potential. Because when you raise your standards, everything else follows. Your goals become clearer, your drive intensifies, your actions align with the person you're becoming, and that's how real transformation happens. Before you can move forward, you must also be willing to step away from relationships that no longer support your growth. This can be difficult because, at times, the people holding you back are those you've known the longest, family, old friends, or individuals who mean well but don't share your vision. And that's okay. You don't need to resent them or remove them entirely from your life. However, setting boundaries is essential. You must recognize that your future holds more weight than their approval. Ultimately, you become a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. So if you aspire to grow, to push past limits, and to evolve into the best version of yourself, be intentional about who you allow into your life. Choose to spend time with individuals who challenge you, hold you to higher standards, and consistently remind you of what's possible. When you elevate your circle, you elevate your life. And that changes everything. Fear will always be present. It's hardwired into your brain to keep you safe, to prevent you from taking risks, and to steer you away from the unknown. But if you let fear control your decisions, if you allow it to keep you stagnant, you'll never discover your full potential. The truth is, everything you desire, everything that will transform your life is waiting on the other side of fear. Most people believe they need to eliminate fear before taking action. They think confidence, certainty, or readiness must come first. But that's not how it works. Courage doesn't appear before action, it emerges because of action. You must take the first step, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when doubt creeps in, even when your mind urges you to turn back. That's how growth happens. Think back to every defining moment in your life. Every time you took a risk, stepped outside your comfort zone, or did something that once felt impossible. What happened? You came out stronger. You realized that fear was never the barrier, it was the test. You realized that fear was never the barrier, it was the test. And every time you pushed through, you proved to yourself that you were capable of more than you believed. That's the pattern of growth, stepping into discomfort, facing uncertainty, and coming out the other side stronger. The problem is most people stop at the first sign of fear. They let hesitation turn into inaction, and that inaction becomes a habit. But what if you did the opposite? What if, instead of waiting for the fear to fade, you used it as a signal to move forward? Because fear isn't a stop sign, it's a challenge. It's life asking, how much do you really want this? The ones who succeed, the ones who break through, are the ones who answer that question with action. They don't wait to feel ready, they take the leap knowing that confidence is built in the process, not before it begins. And the truth is, the more you step into the unknown, the more comfortable you become with uncertainty. What once felt impossible starts to feel normal. The risks that seemed overwhelming become manageable. That's how you grow. That's how you turn fear from an obstacle into fuel. So the next time doubt creeps in, the next time your mind tells you to turn back, remind yourself, everything you want is just beyond that fear. Move forward anyway, because the only way to find out what you're truly capable of is to go beyond what you thought was possible. Fear is nothing more than an illusion, a story you create in your mind, but once you confront it, its grip on you weakens. Confidence isn't built by avoiding fear, but by facing it repeatedly until it loses its control over you. Fear will always disguise itself as logic, whispering that now isn't the right time, that failure is inevitable, or that others will judge you. But recognize it for what it is. Resistance trying to keep you small, and that's not who you are. You weren't made to play it safe or to watch from the sidelines of your own life. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to step into your full potential. Whatever fear is holding you back, whatever excuse is keeping you from moving forward, decide that it ends today. Acknowledge the fear, but move forward anyway. Because when you stop letting fear dictate your actions and start making decisions based on your vision instead of your doubts, everything changes. That's when you step into the life you were meant to live. Waiting for the perfect moment is an illusion. The truth is, it will never come. If you keep postponing action until everything aligns perfectly, until the stars are in place, until the conditions are ideal, you'll be waiting forever. The only moment that matters is now, and right now is enough. The world rewards action, not perfection. Too many people fall into the trap of overthinking, overplanning, and waiting for everything to be just right. They fear mistakes, they fear inadequacy, and so they remain stuck. But here's the truth. Perfection is a myth. There is no such thing as being completely ready. The key is to start. Start before you feel ready. Start before you have all the answers. Start before you know every step of the way. Because once you take that first step, the rest will follow. The best part, you don't need to have everything figured out to make progress. Every action teaches you something new. Each step brings clarity and insight. And that's how momentum builds. It's the small actions, the imperfect steps, and the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty that lead to success. When you begin taking action, when you stop waiting and start doing, something shifts. You start trusting yourself. You realize that you don't need all the answers or flawless execution. You just need to keep moving, learning, and growing. The only thing that truly matters is progress, not perfection. And remember, failure isn't the end, it's part of the journey. Every mistake, every setback, every unexpected detour isn't a sign to quit. It's a lesson, a piece of feedback guiding you forward. Failure is not an obstacle, it's a stepping stone. So don't fear imperfection. Embrace it. Every step, even the imperfect ones, is propelling you forward. Stop waiting. Stop holding back. The world is waiting for you to show up, to take that first step, to take action, and there is no better time than now. You have to stop waiting for permission to move forward. No one is coming to tell you it's time. No one is going to hand you the perfect circumstances. That's your responsibility. Growth happens when you decide to take ownership of your path. Action creates momentum. Every step, no matter how small, moves you forward. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Overthinking leads to hesitation, and hesitation keeps you stuck. But the moment you start, everything shifts. Clarity doesn't come from standing still, it comes from movement, from learning as you go. And yes, there will be challenges, there will be obstacles, but they are not there to stop you, they are there to shape you. Each difficulty is an opportunity to adapt, to refine, to get stronger. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never face adversity, they're the ones who refuse to let it stop them. The truth is, you don't need to feel fully prepared. You don't need all the answers before you begin. What you need is the courage to take the first step. Once you do, confidence follows, progress follows, and eventually success follows. So ask yourself, what's really holding you back? Is it the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of stepping into the unknown? Whatever it is, acknowledge it, but don't let it control you. Fear is only as powerful as the attention you give it. The life you want, the goals you dream of, the person you are meant to become, they are all on the other side of action, and the only way to get there is to start right now. Because waiting changes nothing, but taking action, that changes everything.